Our next speaker is Judge Ulysses Gene Thibideaux, elected in 1992 and serves as the Chief Judge of the Third Circuit Court of Appeals. Prior to his election for judge, he practiced law for 17 years in New York City and Lake Charles. He is the co-founder of the Southwest Louisiana Center of Health Services, a federally qualified multi-site community health center. Judge Thibideaux is married to Phyllis and is a member of the Immaculate Heart of Mary Catholic Church. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Judge Ulysses Gene Thibideaux.
Good morning. To Mr. Provost, distinguished guests, members of the audience, and all believers of religious freedom. You know, you've heard from several judges on this morning, and when a judge or an attorney is asked to speak, it's like, you know, asking Alex Haley, how's your family? It goes on for the 6 episodes. But I promise you, I'm going to shorten that. Actually, Judge Savoy took about 1 minute of my speech because I was going to tell you how the Bill of Rights came into play. He already did that, so I'm not going to repeat that. But we gather here today to celebrate one of our greatest freedoms. Now, this day may have never occurred, and I think Judge Savoy touched on that. Why? Because in our first Constitution, freedom of religion did not exist. It's part of the Bill of Rights, and many of our founders did not want it. Not because they did not believe in freedom of religion. They felt that that was part of natural law, so why put it into writing? They felt that government could not regulate freedom. While that may be a nice, legal, practical argument, that's not the way human behavior works. And now, one of our founders, Patrick Henry, blocked it for 5 years. Again, not that he did not believe in it, he simply thought it shouldn't be in the Constitution. James Madison finally prevailed, and that's why it's included. So it's hard for us to imagine today a Constitution without First Amendment freedoms, without the Bill of Rights. Consider, for instance, from a historical perspective, that one of the primary reasons the Pilgrims came here, as our mayor has touched upon, was because of religious oppression. They knew, as we know, that religion and morality are the foundations of any civil society. Imagine building a house, or any building, without first constructing a foundation. That is the first thing we do. We build a foundation. We build the foundation around which everything else flows. The Pilgrims knew that, our founding fathers knew that. We should remember that religion and morality form the basis of any civil society. And so as we gather today, I think it's imperative for our governments, our national, state, and local governments, to be vigilant in protecting those freedoms. We hear a lot about government intervention in our lives, but sometimes, as in the protection of religious freedom, government is needed. As James Madison said a long time ago, if men were angels, no government would be needed. Well, we are not angels. That is why we ask for the good Lord's help, and we implore our leaders, including judges, to protect that right that we so dearly cherish. You know, and as long as we are fallible, and we are going to be fallible because we are not perfect, we have that challenge before us to protect the liberty that is sometimes imperfect. You're going to have in any society, any household, any church, diversity of thought in men and women. And the protection of that diversity, including the protection of religious diversity, is the first object of government. That is what Federalist 10 tells us. Now, that diversity that our country so cherishes, and which religious freedom is a part, is reflected on a $1 bill. Take a $1, don't tear it down, a $1 bill. The back of the $1 bill is emblazoned our nation's seal. On that seal is the phrase, E pluribus unum. That means literally, in many, we are one. In many, we are one. That is our nation's motto. And that's one of the reasons that we are here today. We are members of diverse religious communities. My wife and I happen to be Catholic. But we have Catholic, we've got Jews, we've got Muslims, we've got Episcopalians, we've got Lutherans, Presbyterians, Mormons. Listen, we can all maintain that autonomous and that independent participation of our religious culture. And you know, despite hopes that have gone unfulfilled, despite dreams that are still to be realized, our community share religious beliefs that are much more attuned to our heritage than differences that serve to divide. So our challenge today is to appreciate what is different among us and to discover really what is fundamentally the same. And that is an appreciation for our religious freedom and the worship of one God. That is what unites us, and that is why we say, in many, we are one. But you know, in the end, we have to practice that freedom of religion. And I think Councilman Allison touched on that when she said a call for action. It matters not what we say, it matters not what we think. In the end, what really matters is what we do. That is what defines a person, what that person does. You know, it's not original to me. Way back in 1738, Benjamin Franklin wrote his daddy, and he said, "The scriptures assure me that at the last day we shall not be examined on what we thought, but what we did." And so we have before us an opportunity, really a historic duty, to join our strength, to recognize our diversity, and to honor our rich heritage, to act together for the protection and benefit of all of us. I think we have acknowledged that responsibility because of our presence today. Now only time will test our sincerity. God bless.